Good afternoon to you all, and thank you very much for coming, and a very warm welcome to you. I have a water bottle, and I'm going to use this for those of you, just to let you know, that the Parish Jubilee of Pilgrimage happened in Rome in November, and all of the pilgrims received a pilgrimage pack, Jubilee pilgrimage pack, in which was the water bottle. So I thought I'd use that and bring that in for my results and let you know. Only pilgrims after the youth pilgrimage were given these because they brought so many and they didn't have anything. So but our guide was very, went back about 2 or 3 times to the Jubilee office to make sure that she got our Jubilee package. Anyway, we were recording, thank you to Harmander, who's behind you, to record the different speeches and talks so that we can put it on the website, so that it sort of makes it more so that people can sort of see, and also to make our website more sort of the information based and what's going on in the parish over the years. This is now our 8th meeting of Parish in Council in this format, and the agenda remains the same because it concerns all the key areas of parish life. So the aim of this afternoon is to give a broad stroke, as usual, an overview of what's going on in the parish since our last pastoral council meeting in February last year. So again, more and more changes keep happening at these stages. This is the format. The end of August, we said goodbye to Shell, our pastoral coordinator, unfortunately. She only started in December 2023, but she made a huge impact in all that she got involved with and all areas of the parish, and particularly for our preparation for the Jubilee year. We thank her for that contribution and the relationships and the good connections that she made while she was here in that short time. I still haven't sort of worked out yet in terms of advertisement for the replacement and a new job position, so it's a work in progress for the moment. Danielle, who our catechetical coordinator, had completed her first year in September, and she will be updating you very shortly about parish catechesis. It's been interesting in terms of, particularly since September, she's faced quite a number of different challenges in our catechetical programs this year, particularly with children coming forward for Holy Communion who have not been baptized or who come from different Christian denominations. So it just means that our standard program doesn't quite apply, so we have to adjust and whatever, and we also have to make sure that her workload isn't just overwhelmed by having to cater for these other areas and the need for their catechesis and just bringing them up to speed. So I thank her for her commitment and the hard work in dealing with these challenges and the other challenges that in this core and most important ministry in the life of the parish. Barbara Jewell, our parish secretary, continues to work hard to ensure that the parish office is well organised and is running smoothly. And on your behalf, I thank him indeed and all the team for their hard work and dedication. In November, we welcomed Father Bede, Father Bede, who was ordained on 27th of September. So he became a member of the parish team in November, and it is great to have him and that support in terms of myself, Father Timothy, as a priest. Deacon Ian, who is here with us, who retired in September, and he has very generously made himself more available to help out in the parish, which with Shell not being around, we're very grateful to that person, particularly to pastoral care and in terms of just the administration of the areas around care of the sick and sick visits. So Father Timothy and myself are also very grateful for the support given to us by the parish by Abbey Dominic, Father Peter, especially who he celebrates the family mass, and Abbot Martin. The deacons, Ian and Alex, are both very grateful to have 2 deacons. We're very privileged in the parish to have that, and Ian will be talking about their ministry later on. The deacons also coordinate the readers, the Eucharistic ministers, and supporting the sacramental life of the parish. So we have a very good parish team together, and I thank them all for their commitment and hard work and dedication to help everything run smoothly during the year. So our catechesis, well, since September 2023, we have a youth group which incorporates our candidates for confirmation, as you know. And as is usual, the leaders come and go. And they have a lot of other commitments in their lives and still have a core number. But we still have a core number. We've counted around 20, I think, which is great there. but obviously they're not all available when we need them, but it's there. And Danielle is working very closely with them. They also ensure that preparing for confirmation, the preparation for confirmation is a solid formation, while at the same time we have a forum for those before confirmation and after confirmation. These are the areas that need support and a better engagement, and that we're able to do that and enable our young people to grow and mature in developing in their faith journey. It will always be, I think, it's just the nature of youth work and youth catechesis, a work in progress. And so it is an ongoing, but we're very lucky to have committed leaders and who are willing to engage and support Danielle in the programme. Our RCIA is going really well, and it's a big thank you to our dedicated and faithful catechist. Patrick is here, Patrick Martin, and we're very grateful to him, to one of the core teams and rocks of our RCIA team. It's incredible, and Danielle again will talk about that. There's a number we will be having at the Easter Vigil, all being well, God's grace, being received in the church and being baptised. It's an incredible and important witness to our Catholic faith of Ealing Abbey and our community. Danielle is also working closely with Peter and Melanie Augustine and Stephen and Anne-Marie Devitt on our marriage preparation programme, which happens now twice a year in January, March and in September. We've got down to that. But that's going well. We've had a lot of couples. And if you come to the 6 p.m. Mass, they end the course on that date, with Mass and the blessing of the rings, and they come in here for a celebration. So it's a good moment for them to see the community, to be part of the community, and for the community to be aware and to pray for them that marriage isn't just about that hour and a half in the church, in the lovely church, when you get lovely photos, whatever. There is a community, and the Abbey, which I keep emphasising to them and others, and baptism myself, it is an alive, living community. It's not just a building that looks nice for photographs. It is what it is because people are involved and have committed themselves to be involved. As I said on Friday night, we have so many people who are committed to the life of the parish. Our First Holy Communion programme forms the bedrock of our catechesis, and we're very lucky to have very committed and dedicated catechists on that, and that continues to go very well. Our children's liturgy at the 9 a.m. Mass on Sundays, we've had a sort of a moment where we need more. We only got 3 or 4 catechists left for that, and that left us really short. But quite a number of people have come forward, which has been wonderful. They all have to go through the safeguarding DPS checks, which takes time, but I think we're on the right track. We're still able to offer, we still have those very 3 or 4 dedicated catechists who know the ropes, but in order for it to happen more frequently, nearly every Sunday, or at least Sundays during term time, we need more, but it's going in the right direction. So I thank all our volunteer catechists. It is important that to acknowledge them, because we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing without them. And we need the numbers because safeguarding is key and fundamental, so there always has to be 2 adults present when we are with children, and they all both have to be have DBS checks, and that's important, and we have to liaise with the diocese, and that's time consuming, but it's extremely important and extremely worthwhile, and we're very grateful to all those volunteers who have gone through that process and come out the other end. We have a great team and a very committed team, and we're very lucky to have that. So for safeguarding, I thank our parish safeguarding representatives, Brendan Curran, who's with us here, who works out the DBS forms with Robert in the office. A key form and very important aspect of safeguarding. And I thank you for his commitment to that and dedication. It's painstaking, it's slow, because you're looking for references, you're looking for proof of address, and also proof of identities, and there are very strict requirements in that, and the paperwork is not straightforward, it is complicated. So we're very reliant on the PSR's patience and dedication and commitment to that, and the relevance of the job as well. So thank you very much for that. Mary Ellen Collins, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, she works full-time as a teacher. And she, as I said previously, she was head of safeguarding in 2 of our schools, in the local schools, and obviously to have that knowledge and that experience and expertise available to the parish is huge and so important. We're very grateful to her for giving us that time And like I mentioned, she's a parishioner and she comes to Mass here every Sunday, and that's so important. So we're very grateful for that. We do need a third person, and if you do know of anybody who's suitable to help out, please let me know. It will help Brendan in important that, and also develop safeguarding within the parish in more imaginative ways, because we need to sort of just keep it out there in the forefront that people, you know, it's all our responsibilities. It's not just with the DBS. It's there for us to keep it, make sure that everybody's safe, not just children, adults under risk, and our elderly people and whatever, to keep our eyes open and to make sure that nobody is being left behind or suffering unnecessarily, that we're there. So we pray for that to happen. We have a safeguarding committee, which is the parish's commitment and to safeguarding to help us too. So Monica McCarthy, who's a head teacher and parishioner, Paula Dare, who's just retired as head teacher of the special needs school, and he's a parishioner too. Marcel Phelan, who was retired from Ealing Social Services, together with Father Timothy and Father Vito and myself, are on that committee with our parish safeguarding reps. We meet 3 times a year. And again, they help us and they help the parish safeguarding reps just to go through issues and flag up anything that needs to be flagged up, and get us basically, okay, we need to focus on that, and we need this issue, and we need a bit more clarity on that, and that make sure that safeguarding, and it's a very good meeting. We just had our one this just last Thursday, and it's a very important meeting, and we keep that ever. And as always, we continue to remember in our prayers all those who have been abused emotionally, psychologically, physically, and sexually, and spiritually. And we continue to commit ourselves to do our very best to support them in any way we can. And we also ensure that we do everything we can as a church and as a parish, as a community, to make Ealing Abbey safe for everyone, and most especially for our children and those who are vulnerable. And we never stop on that mission. Our finance, well, the planned Giving Stewardship campaign, which took place in October 2023, which is now 2.5 years ago, it made a huge difference. We gathered 15%, an increase in contributions, which is incredible, and it went to go a long way. Unfortunately, we're still struggling to balance that day-to-day running costs of the parish, maintaining the service that we currently have. Sharon, our lay bursar, is working very hard with the Parish Finance Committee to rectify this, and we'll hear more about it with Laura, just to give you an insight. We have put the necessary investment into making it easier and more convenient to support the parish financially, and managing our future continues to require more and more support. But it's still there, and we're grateful. Big thank you to all our parishioners, and all of you here present, who continue to support the parish financially. Those who have increased their donations and those who have started contributing through the standing orders. The planned giving, as I say, made a huge difference impact. Our chair, our parish finance committee, Laura Forrest, will say a few words in more detail later on. But I thank her for being here and taking on the role, and to our parish finance committee members, Julie Pearce as secretary, Eddie Abbasi as chair of the pastoral council, Liz McCory and Nick Fay, and since the Easter Vigil, Jan and Laura Bestick, and Ruth, who is here present with us, who both took up that challenge and that call to support the challenge. And we're very grateful to them for supporting it. It's a wonderful example of what can your parish do, what can you do for your parish as a part of becoming a new member of the council. Thank you very much for joining the committee, and we're very, having their skills is so important to us, and they bring great drive and wealth, knowledge and commitment. But thank you very much. And the parish is ever grateful to them for this. So we said that in terms of the ongoing issues, in terms of our day-to-day running and the cost of that. Our big issue in 2025, as you will not forget, was the new sanctuary lights, which also included new lights for the tabernacle, the statues of Our Lady of St. Joseph and St. Benedict, and the monastic choir, which all came to a huge cost of 30,000. And so thank you to everybody who was part of that project to update and install these things. And I refer you to the parish website for my thank you that I said in December for all those involved in that. There's so many people and so many donors and those who sponsored. Mary, Nolan and Eileen are here too, and through their actions in the race night, together with Keith Brett and Deidre on the 18th of October, they hosted that actual night. It was a brilliant night, a wonderful night, and through their amazing hard work, gained over 12,000 for the lights. So thank you very much both for that. Again, it's incredible. I have to sort of, every time I think of it, the cost and how quickly it was raised, I am overwhelmed by people's generosity. The race night, and then quite a considerable number of very generous donations for that. And it's not the most exciting thing to raise money for, or to sort of say, and when you look at it, you look at, where are they? What difference is it making? But, they are there. And within that, I thank Radek Lenk, our estates manager, because he put all the hard work in sourcing the lights, finding the contractors, trying to make it as cost effective as possible, making sort of various ways to keep cost conscious by hiring the cherry picker ourselves, so that brought it down, and the complications of it's such a busy church and trying to fit in everything in between what's already happening. It was very complicated, and he is very committed, and we're very lucky to have him, because many parishes are struggling to ongoing health and safety policies, as you know, around that, and insurance. But I thank him and Hubert, our Abbey site caretaker. They don't just do the parish, it's the whole monastery estate, and they work very hard for us. And so, as you know, our golf day, the Mary in Ealing, which was September 2024, the coffee shop has had its amazing refurbishment. Post, I think it was just early last year, Radek was able to get new chairs and new tables and make it more so homely up. And I think there's still more that we'd like to get done to make it more homely, and a place where people want to go and to be, and that's an ongoing thing. So, I also, again, Geraldine Nelson, in our Ealing Abbey Parish office, who works extremely hard through the year to administer parish finances. I'm very grateful to her attention to detail and her diligence in all that she does, and liaising with people who are raising money for the parish, and looking after our donation portals, and just keeping an eye on things is so important. Because as you know, fraud is rampant everywhere, so we do have to be careful, and she's very good at managing that. A big thank you also to Sharon Daly, who is the Ealing Abbey Trust layperson, and she's also a parishioner. She's on the Parish Finance Committee too, and she prepares our parish finance accounts and manages the parish finances. And we're hoping to have a parish finance report. The parish will be put out hopefully in March, if not then a bit later. Pastoral care and our social outreach. We have a pastoral care council, which Abbey is the chair, Father Timothy and myself are members. And big thank you to her, Brendan Curran, who's the secretary, David Kearns, and Stephen Ballack are also members of that. In terms of our social outreach, Ealing Night Shelters, Ealing Churches Together Winter Night Shelter, which we have here, as you know, and many of you are involved in that. And it's going really well, and it's succeeded because people are being involved, and so giving themselves so generously, from the basic cooking the meals in the evening, and providing that, washing the linen cloths, and making sure that they're brought on to the next venue the following night, and the transport of that, sleeping overnight, and helping. Deacon Alex has taken on that responsibility from Deacon Gordon, and it's through his dedication and support to make it happen that it's happening. We're very grateful to him. Our big thing this year was the Benedict Renew, which began in October. As part of the Renew Wellbeing Spaces, which is simply a cafe stay outside places run by local churches where hobbies and activities are shared. Each cafe space is attached to a quiet room or prayer place where the inner habits of well-being are shared to ensure good, inclusive practices, safe places where it's okay not to be okay, and sustained. So just to be with people and others. And that is go off. Grant Mary is with us here as part of the team. We had, I think it's 14, 15 people, and Ian is as well. So Sister Joanna was there, and Jim. And so it is just it's happening because people have signed up to it, and the group have set themselves as a WhatsApp group. They have a rota in place, and it's running very smoothly. We're getting people slowly, but that's part of it. These things take time. But the group that you go in there, it's a lovely, warm, homely, and more welcoming environment, and that's exactly what it's supposed to be. And as we move out there, it will pick up. I'm not contribute to that. The other place, if you ever want to find out is the Baptist Church in Haven Green. That happens on a Monday morning, between 10 and 12 as well. And that's what it is. So that is, I think, an important thing in terms of mental health and having places around that. Our parish special needs group, we liturgies throughout the year. So many thanks to Philly Covington for coordinating that, and Marlene Thompson, part of the Caritas, and the Rise to support there for coming to that, and Anna's here from that, and Wiley supports that. Our Jubilee year meetings took place in New November, and the follow-up meetings in January. We had a Jubilee year liturgy that took place on Saturday in September. I think it was the 20th. It was the same day that we had our open house. The Dean of Ealing, Father Jim Duffy, who was the parish priest of Northfield, attended. It was a good, important liturgy. We didn't have that many people. We chose the same day as the open day. And I thank all the groups who had stands on the open day. And there was a lovely atmosphere, particularly as a parish. Unfortunately, we didn't get many visitors. We were signed up. Shell had done all the work for it. We were on the sort of connection. We got an email wishing us well on the day. We got the welcome packs and everything. But a couple of people who are signed up to it didn't see it on the list of venues or whatever. So it's not quite clear what actually happened there. But there was a good atmosphere, and that's exactly what. And it was an opportunity for the groups of the parish to be mixed with each other and be there, and that was a good thing too. Our Jubilee of Pilgrimage happened in November, the 17th to the 21st of November, to Rome. And there are some pictures, thank you to Harmander, who got those pictures off the website. We also met with the Capitano sisters, who have a house just on the skirts of Rome, just outside St. Peter's Square. And, we went up to their roof garden, and we saw a wonderful view of St. Peter's Square. And we met Sister Maria Grazia, who left here in 2012. Many of you might remember her. She was a superior. And Sister Patricia, who just left here when they closed the house. It was a lovely occasion to meet them again and support them. Thank you to all who work in the bookshop, to Ali, Chris, and her team, and Wiley's here now. That has made sure that we can keep it open and that people are using it on a Saturday evening and Sunday morning. So that keeps going. Thank you to Sacristan Kumar for his continued hard work, and we give thanks for his good health and recovery. Our parish website, it constantly needs updating and reworking and adjusting, and so that that's where people get their information on parish. And as a parish team, we can use it as a key tool. It's an ongoing thing. Danielle is working on it and building on that catechesis, and since Harmander was baptized at the Easter Vigil, he offered his IT skills, and he's been supporting her. And he's helping out in the wider parish issues. So that's how Dominic's Christmas message got up, and my 3 messages with lights and thank you, whatever, and getting up our Advent. Shell would have done that prior to that, and Daniel prior to that again. So we're evolving. I think it's an ongoing thing. We're very grateful to Howard for giving us the skills around that. Live streaming continues. I think we've been okay with it. It has a bit blips now and again. But so far so good. We fund that, and the need to fund that has become formed through funerals and weddings. We set a fee for them, and we've increased that to make sure that we actually cover it. It's £120 a month, and that, given that we're not making enough money to support that, the parish does can't afford that burden itself. So it's important that the income does come from funerals and weddings. It's a common practice, but so we don't get any money in that way. It's an important part of fundraising. The e-newsletter, obviously is stalled since Shell just used to put it out once a month. They were playing games with figures. Once we went over 500, there was a charge, so we got it back down. We did get a donation, but it does require Shell. The newsletter goes up on the website, but in terms of we had a subscription around 500, so we're nearly there. I know my speech is quite long, but these are core aspects of parish life. It's the way it goes. But it is a kind of important moment once a year, and just to let you hear it and what's going on, and for people to know, and also ask questions and to see where we're moving it up. So our liturgies, Our Wednesday in November, we have our liturgies for families and friends of deceased parishioners. So that's usually the second Wednesday of the month. This year it was the 12th of November. And we're very grateful to Father Pasquarelli and Robert Brown and Elizabeth Wareham who provided music for it. And that's a key aspect of that. And the Parish Pastoral Council help out in being present, and then we have a reception afterwards. I think it's a very important moment for families who might not necessarily practicing, might not have been into a church for a long time, for them to come back, to visit the community, and to be part of that setting that the community cares, the parish community is there, and it might just spark, and maybe we've just laid the idea of community, the idea of a Christian community and prayer around these moments of time, and the importance of faith, the importance of developing sort of that life after death, and what that means, and maybe just sort of help them and support them that way. At Easter, we have our liturgy for those affected by suicide. This year, we link it with the Ascension Thursday, so the eve of Ascension, the Wednesday night, we have it at 7:30, and this year was on the 20th of May. So we've had, our first one was in 2019, and then we've had 5 last year, 2024 was our 5th one. Again, it is part of our commitment, our mental health commitment as a parish, to keep trying to support as best as those struggling with mental health issues. To not just reiterate that those affected by suicide, be it a close relative or friend, the pain is so often excruciating and it doesn't go away. So each year I keep on appealing to parishioners to make a commitment to them, particularly if you haven't a direct experience or personal knowledge, which is quite interesting, so many have, or you heard or whatever, just to allow this to be a moment where the parish comes together and prays and remembers them and happens. And it is a wonderful moment. And each year as we go through, those more and more people are saying that they are hearing very close people who have taken their own lives. It's not going away, and it's frightening that it's not, and in terms of it doesn't distinguish between age profiles. That's the other frightening, very young, 8 or 9-year-olds, teenagers, whatever. I did 2 funerals of people in their 50s this year, and by the grace of God, wonderful, the family members were able to come, and I think that's another wonderful moment too. But it is an important liturgy, and for all involved, and for everybody, and for us as a parish, and commit ourselves and to be there, the same we're with you. And this is a moment where we're praying for you, especially if you can't bear the pain, maybe we can take some of that from you, just to help you, just to give you some relief and some support. So I think it's key we continue to do that. Our Pentecost Vigil Mass keeps going. I thank you to the readers from the different languages of the Mass. So we had, I think, 5 readings. The Old Testament will be trying a different language in each one, and then the New Testament Gospel. And then there's an art and prayer sessions which Carolina Stoloska runs on a Saturday morning throughout the year, and last year was chose Jubilee year themes, and in terms of Pentecost, so that we had them at the Mass. And it's a wonderful occasion. I think we keep doing that. Our novena in preparation for the Feast of St. Benedict, Patron of Europe, which is basically the Litany of St. Benedict before the 6 p.m. Mass, and a different Benedictine saint each day of the novena. So there's a lot going to happen, and there's a lot in that, I know, and it's a lot of time just to listen to one person. But it's a testament to so much we're doing, and I hope that it gives you a flavour of what's happening, and I think everybody involved. And thank you for being here and listening to that. So we might just take a breather, and then just a couple of minutes, and